January 16th, 7 a.m. About to see the last Fighters Pass character reveal. So we don't know what there's going to be. Oh, those aren't working. Well, may just have these bright white lights in front of me. You know what, I'm going to turn them off because they're hurting my head. Anyway, here's hoping for Professor Layton. We're hoping for Shantae. I'm predicting it will be a Sony rep. Kratos, Spyro, Crash, Sackboy, something like that. That's what I'm thinking it'll be, but yeah, don't know. Anyway, it should be any second now, because it's now 6:59. And my clock, which is about a minute and a half ahead, is saying 7 o'clock on the dot, so any second now. Oh boy, here we go. Sakurai's on the picture going like this. Obviously gonna announce something about Fighters Pass 2 or what have you. But we don't know. Hey, you're not looking good.
Well,
I know. Hey, what do you think I've been doing? It's 7. Google, stop!
I don't like Google.
That's my normal alarm.
Slow.
You can just say stop and it'll stop. Did you know that? You don't have to say Google stop.
I don't know
There we go, here we go!
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakura.
Hello!
Super Smash Bros. From Sora Limited.
that. I have that controller.
We'll be using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter. Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide. The development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy, which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been brought up.
Okay, so
It won't be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time.
alright, so we'll get it in February, that's fine.
Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, "Wow, really?" So
It'll be like
let's all
Kratos
share
or
the fun
something.
of getting our hands on the latest information. However, even if you say, "That's not the character I was picturing," I hope you don't have any hard feelings.
It's
We prepared
Kratos.
a very video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now, let's do this.
Here we go. Oh my gosh! One of the Three Houses people! This is dumb!
Has finally come.
Another fire on the
Spell of Zaharas upon our enemies.
If this is a fake out, I'm gonna love it. Edelgard. Who's going to be? But Claude would be so much better.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap?
Is it just
As
Byleth?
you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be.
Not in
Are
Smash!
you prepared to die? I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet,
Let's get another character that doesn't speak. My favorite,
there's no
yes!
other choice. You must join Smash. Join Smash Brothers already! What are you waiting for?
Do it! I'm totally surprised. I thought it'd be a third-party character. Join Smash.
Joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself.
Oh my God! All the students are in the background. Oh. Yeah. Show Annette! Show Annette! Show Annette!
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
Yes! Female!
So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I'll reward your cleverness this
This is true. If you ever lose a life, become female, try again.
How is this?
Are they able to use a bow? Byleth recruits Byleth? What?
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics. With arid fire, strike with superior reach.
Okay, so it's just this great,
Overwhelming power.
great sword, lance, axe, and bow.
Unleash the blinding speed of Failnot.
Oh!
Along with the sword of the creator. Each weapon
No way! The weapon triangle! Oh, I'm liking the stage.
Now as one. To you, both sides of time are revealed. Through Smash, show the world.
I wish I had my reaction for when Korn was announced, because I was so upset, but I ended up loving Korn, so I'm gonna give this a chance with the weapon triangles in it. Woo!
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros.
Okay,
Ultimate
28th.
Fighting
So it's like 2
It will also
weeks.
be available for purchase individually.
They kept that dumb belly button thing that
With
female
Fire Emblem
has.
or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry. First off,
What is Fire Emblem? What is it?
it's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful.
Fire Emblem.
The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990.
See, this would have way more up in 2001. Like, what is Fire Emblem? Who is Mars? Now it's like their biggest mobile game. They're like, what is
It
it?
simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game. Or in other words, a game in which you advance units across a grid and battle. When we talk about tactical
Even
games
5 years
in that
ago, this
era,
series
there were
was so
lots of
dead.
ones in which you command tanks,
But it's
aircraft, and so
everywhere
on.
right now.
But Fire Emblem,
A new Fire Emblem game comes out tomorrow.
a specific character, sort of like in role
It's a port of Tokyo Mirage Session. It's been silver.
Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo products.
Permadeath.
Characters could permanently die. That's
Everyone that talks about Fire Emblem, that's the thing they
so
talk
perhaps we
about.
should just say
Permadeath.
they're sleeping with the fishes. But really, if a character fell in battle, you lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again.
Man, I wanted a new
Recent entries in the
world.
series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you. But a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak.
Yeah, make it
In the
easy.
older games, your units would really be gone.
Waluigi's gonna be the
Never
next
mentioned
one.
Again.
He's never gonna be on Smash.
No, he's gonna be in the next one because everyone threw such
The
a
game's stories
hissy
are
fit.
told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios.
So that's the main problem with Fire Emblem, is that you get to like final boss and it's like, we're changing the rules and it's not as
For the
fun.
series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special.
Yes.
There's actually a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn. And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series. People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many? Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge.
Fire Emblem,
I'll give it a try.
Fire Emblem Gaiden, yeah, Mystery, Genealogy Thracia, Blazing Binding Blade, that one, Sacred Stones, Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn, Shadow Dragon, the other one, Awakening Fates, Heroes,
There you
okay.
go, 17. So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
Why?
0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17.
So weird.
Awesome, isn't it?
That's how computers think, but and he is a programmer
Actually
at
count up to 31 in one hand.
like where he started. Oh, but still.
And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023. If you've given up counting the knots in the tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is
If you're ever bored, try counting. That's a good
The
trick.
male version of the main character is called
Anyway, let me reset this.
In English, they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've
Hopefully, as long as I push the
guide them
button.
through their school life, and
Show Annette. Mercedes, yeah, cool. Where's Annette? Where's Annette? Hilda's awesome.
after a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you.
Gosh, they're spoiling the whole game.
To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release. I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example. Because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter.
So you made a good choice to
I
link to
did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference.
Get good.
It has multiple routes, and the outcome of each is very different.
So the game's not hard if you put
Your
time
experience
into
will
it.
vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt
3
different roles
houses?
in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I
Thank
think you'll
you.
understand.
But yeah, I can imagine being like, oh, I got a week to beat it, and there's like no guides or anything,
I mentioned
and it's still gonna be like
a month
buggy
in
and crap.
advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November.
So right when Terry came out.
Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version. As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes.
Oh no! Ah!
Here I go.
Takimasu.
So this is our new fighter, Byleth. Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Strong point either. Their grab lacks range, but actually, you could say that they're a distance demon. The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem Three Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks, where it takes the form of a whip. They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves.
Okay. The sword is your aid
attack.
moves?
They'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air.
Yeah, it's actually cool. It's like a whip that pulls tight to make a sword, if you
They'll
want to
wave
think of
the
it
whip
that
sword
way.
overhead.
Like with a bunch of sword segments
Hit
on it.
detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this. It was pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
Oh my gosh! What?
you can do awful things like this.
That
That said, you'll launch opponents upward.
He's got Joker's up B for his up air. But it doesn't just pull him down, it swaps! Oh my gosh! These characters are always so busted.
I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's
Or was that his up B? I think that was up air
sideways
still.
inputs. This is air guitar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology.
Okay. How are we doing?
First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks.
Okay, I think it's still
As you
working.
can see, they have a long reach, like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents.
Yeah, we're still good. I'm just paranoid that camera turns off.
If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it.
Well, you said you made his range
The side
huge.
smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
Well, it's a lance.
Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger.
But you made it stronger when it's up?
And if you've knocked an opponent down,
Why?
the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for it. By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful.
Perfect! We got tippers again, baby!
So it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage, and it won't launch opponents far. That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward. Or downward in this case. Next, the side special move. Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it is excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance,
No.
you still hit.
No! Oh my gosh! It's super slow, but that range!
Smash attack and charge forward a little, like this.
That's what everyone's gonna use online as soon as they come out. They're gonna get into Elite.
But as you'd
Just side
expect,
beam to
you can
death.
easily shield it, so be careful.
That looks like no shield damage.
Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area.
I'm gonna hate
Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great...
Don't worry, there's 80 other characters
They
that I
lack
like.
verticality. So this complements it well. Although you'll be vulnerable when you land.
Yeah.
Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir.
A meter.
It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong.
Gosh. All these moves are so slow.
With this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different.
What?
When readying the move, there's a super armor effect. which allows you to withstand an attack.
Just so you know,
If you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this.
That's so much super armor that Falcon Punch can't even break it.
Due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage, unless you get grabbed. Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms while you're charging up.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh wow, you go under the platform just to instantly come back up again.
It won't let you jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack.
Just like K.
Also,
Rool's
you can turn around during the move.
blunderbuss.
The swing takes a while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction.
So again, just like
Even though it
Falcon
can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used against a
Well,
group.
no duh, they're at 190%.
Plus, even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little. It's as if the Quake move around launches them.
Okay.
By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters.
Nice. That's 0.
Counters can actually multiply the power of block. And using easily anticipated attacks like this can just get you hit by counter after counter. Next, we have the neutral moves. The
Arrow.
bow you use is
Frail
called
knot.
Fail Knot, which shares
Just
its
Fail
name
Knot.
with the bow from the
That
Knights
was
of the
Frail
Round
Knot, it
Table.
really did.
It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like it.
Does it have working hitboxes? Oh, you broke the table!
It's also easy to create
And the cat! There's the cat under there! Oh no, it's a candle. Sorry.
neutral special.
It was buffering and it looked like a cat for me.
It seems pretty straightforward, right?
Well, yeah, what'd you do
There are a
to
few
it?
noteworthy aspects to this bow.
Can't counter it?
First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful.
Okay.
That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button.
Alright, so you can't shoot.
You can also
You can't do Young Link jump up
It
double
works up until
arrows.
this point, but you keep holding the button. You'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light. You can perform this move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire.
30.
But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it.
Okay.
So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
That's what all of these moves are,
Once
super
you've entered
slow.
the stance, you won't be able to do anything.
Come on!
Which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you can always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version. As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sophist and launch an attack together.
Show us the students!
Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female. However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors...
Oh my gosh, those look so funny!
Those of you who played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on something you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations
Oh, the
are
progenitor.
different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story. Didn't we see this variation in the final smash? Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend.
It looks like it's basically every song in the game. They're like, there's like 8 songs in the game. Put them all in. Put them all in.
This is how Garrick Monastery is laid
None of them
out
have been
in the original
remixes,
game.
from what I can tell.
From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral, all in one stage.
Sweet.
It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these 4. Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these 4 areas.
Come on, Annette.
The first area is the marketplace.
So,
I think this is where a lot of
gosh, I'll call him Duster. That's not his name.
the guests
Dedu,
that appear here are students
Ingrid, and
Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Farthest. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a
so Ned's probably not in it.
You could say Dimitri is the future king. He had quite the difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one. There are vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see. If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right. I wonder
Walk
what
offs.
supply their supplies now. And in the back,
Gatekeeper, yes! Yes!
You often pass
You
through
Greetings, Professor!
Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to them a lot.
moving through
These areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop,
Okay, so here's Petra, Edelgard, and...
you've broken through the ceiling and slammed
Oh,
into the
not...
building.
Oh, shoot.
And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and
Yes,
Petra,
Dorothea.
the Black Eagles.
Petra's awesome.
It's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adrestian Empire. And as such, they embrace
Petra's a
their
sword
military
user that has really high avoidance and crit rates, but like she doesn't have a lot of HP, so it's just super fun because it's like can't hit her, but then someone does, and that 10% chance you're like, I'm dead. Ah!
You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage.
Oh,
It's possible to knock them down. However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though.
you can't air dodge up there?
So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go. I made it. And
Is that a combo up throw into up air?
also, you can break this table, like so.
Wow.
Just like the sign that reads Fudin Kaza in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range.
Okay.
Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees, creating this long
This is gonna
area.
be Yellow House.
It's very wide indeed.
Wait, who's in the background? So it's Lawrence,
It's similar to the bridge of Elden stage.
Claude, and
The
Hilda.
guests are from the Golden Deer.
Hilda's awesome.
Hilda and Lawrence. They belong to the Leicester Alliance.
Hilda! Hilda!
Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch. Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap. The naming process must be tough. Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training.
I've had that thought before.
As for the bridges
they're gonna
design,
have to start having like Joe and Mike as characters.
you can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen. You could also say it's a place where the fail knot really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly.
Yeah, because that's Claude's weapon.
The last area is the cathedral, only with some platforms you can pass through.
The guests appearing in the cathedral are Sedith, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flayn. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flame might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that. This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes. Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here we go, Joker. Joker! And Hero! Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo! By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the professor here. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on. It's not going to land that easily. Uh-oh, this is bad. Bennigan's. I better keep my distance. I'll use this chance to attack. Got him. That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch. He perfect shielded that, huh? Good one. If I do this, or like so.
No anti-air, huh?
Yeah, so we missed the part. Now it's recording again. Sistroey Mother Brain!
Good. There's Mom.
There's Mom.
You're in a good spot, Mom.
Oh my gosh.
I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir. Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not. I feel like the enemy might get this Smash Ball. See? They got it. But I mustn't give up.
Oh! Shield break!
Can't waste the chance. There's another Smash Ball. Yes, got it. Now, what are you charging up for?
Yeah, I would have done like a little
There's
more.
still more.
Oh, hammer!
Whack. Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him. I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
The end!
Now, about the additional music.
10.
Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added.
It's 10 plus 1.
This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well. We're also adding in a new spirit board. It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters.
Why is Hilda 1 star?
Sophis is Legend class.
Legend.
Also, there's a new Classic Mode route, a Heroic Legacy, which is designed to let you enjoy classic Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that. Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
Here we go! Shantae! No, it's probably gonna be. Actually, I don't know who it'll be. A Zelda person? Oh my gosh! What? Altair? Oh my gosh, that is sick! Assassin's Creed, baby! No, the rabbits! Yes! Rabbit Peach? Just the normal rabbits, yes! Fly! Who roll? Who else is left? I feel like that was in 4. Oh well. Exu! Oh, Mega Man EXE? I swear we've seen those before. Yeah, I could be wrong. Cuphead! Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Oh, and the music track! Okay, we got it! We're buying it! Oh my gosh! Cuphead looks so...
All those, he's the best.
75 cents? I can get Cuphead. Yeah, baby.
This time, we're releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation. I hope you enjoy these as well.
Amiibo?
After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it. And now, onto the Amiibo.
Ooh.
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Dark Samus and Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th.
That's tomorrow!
And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete. The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and Byleth.
Banjo and Kazooie was the best.
From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there? When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play.
So they made Super Range Man, the man character.
As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I
They
had
pass-
thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well, have a look.
A second season? Yeah. Season 2? Yes! Yes, yes, yes! 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 5 more! Yes!
6. Waluigi?
Looks like there will be 1 more fighter than last time. For this
Yes!
reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume
By
2.
December 2021! Oh my gosh! They're like, oh, we need 2
Please
years
keep
to
an eye
make
out.
this.
And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed.
You give us a cool Mii
Like
costume.
last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchased it. Furthermore, the new additions have already been decided. Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them. but I still hope you'll look forward to it.
So we had 76 at launch.
With Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume. But this time, here's what we have.
Oh, what is it? Breath of the Wild Link? Okay.
It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from the Legend of Zelda.
Alright.
This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
So there's 82 when Byleth comes out, which means 6 more. We're at 88.
We need to get to
Super
100.
Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest selling fighting game in the world.
Yep, I remember when that was announced.
Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world.
Don't feed the trolls!
Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if you really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is #1. Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game. I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely.
Yeah.
Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters. The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there would be more DLC, which means no breaks for me.
Oh, take a weekend off.
Hard, so I hope you can continue to
Take
support
a
us.
month off.
That's it. Thank you.
You just took 2 months off.
We hasn't taken 2 months off.
You recorded that in November.
Yeah? Oh, he's counting. He was giving us the hint right there. 3 houses. Boom.
I thought that was like his peace sign.
No. Something went wrong! Alright. Bye, Internet. I'm gonna upload this like a year later. Okay.